What's good, y'all? It's Better Dean. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down my college list. So everywhere I applied to, why I applied there, and maybe why y'all should apply as well, especially if you're interested in pre-med or BSMD programs. So before I start, I feel like I've done this in the last two videos already, but I have a computer over here to look at some of the colleges that I applied to and notes that I wrote down for each one. So if I keep looking over there, that's why. Alright, let's get into it. So the first thing I need to address is the 55 number. So like it says in the title, and like I said in my previous videos, yes, I applied to 55 colleges. So the breakdown of that, if you watch my college decision reaction video and any of my other two videos, I'll link them down in the description below. So obviously this is a 5-part series if you all didn't know. This is part 4, so the other 3 parts of this 5-part series called I applied to 55 colleges. Make sure to go and check all those videos out in the description below. Alright, so let's get into it. So the 55 number. So breaking that down, it's 17 research universities, 5 liberal arts colleges, 7 UC schools or University of California schools, because I'm from California, and 26 BSMD programs. So BSMD programs, there's 26 of them, that's what we're going to start with, but I'm not going to break down each and every single one of them, just because that would take forever. But I'm going to talk about a couple of them that are pretty special. So the first two that are really special are UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, and VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University. These two programs are really special because they're non-binding. So what this means is that you have a spot in medical school already because you're in the BSMD program, but at the end of your 3rd year, when everyone else applies to medical school across the nation, you can also apply to medical school and see if you get in. So if you get into some great medical school, you can go there and give up your spot. But say you don't get into any medical schools, or you get into medical schools that you don't want to, and you would rather go to the medical school that's with the program. So obviously if that's UAB, that's UAB medical school. With VCU, that's VCU medical school. So say you get into a medical school, but you'd rather go to here, you can still go here. Like your spot, you don't give up your spot because you apply to other medical schools. That's really special. Like there's literally no other BSMD program that I found other than these two that does this. So if you're looking into BSMD programs, definitely apply to these two BSMD programs. Alright, so then third one that's pretty special is Wayne State University's BSMD program, their Wayne Med Direct program, and it's special because it's free, like completely free. So free undergrad, your undergrad is paid for, your medical school is paid for, and I'm pretty sure during your undergrad there's also free study abroad too. So it's an amazing opportunity. I would highly encourage a lot of people to apply. Granted, the reason why it is free is because this program is geared towards people who are socioeconomically disadvantaged. There's no criteria, there's no like cutoffs or anything. Anyone can apply, but if you are socioeconomically disadvantaged, highly consider this option if you qualify. Like BSMD wise, like if you have the stats, if you have the extracurriculars, I would definitely apply here. It's an amazing program. Okay, so some other ones that are kind of special. There's 3 medical schools out there that I found that have multiple BSMD programs. They have multiple connections to multiple undergraduate institutions. So these 3 medical schools are Temple University, Lewis Katz School of Medicine, Rutgers University, NJMS, so New Jersey Medical School, and SUNY Upstate Medical University. So these 3 medical schools are connected to multiple undergraduate institutions, so there's multiple BSMD programs. The best way to find out which undergraduate institutions these are, because they change year to year, is to not go to the undergraduate institution websites, but to go to the medical school website. So go to either the LKSOM, Temple University Lewis Katz School of Medicine website, Rutgers NJMS website, or SUNY Upstate website, and see what undergraduate institutions they're connected to for that year. Because it kind of changes. Like they get rid of some, they add some depending upon the year. So make sure to go to those websites, and you can see a complete list of all the undergraduate institutions there. It's a lot better than going to each individual undergraduate institution and maybe missing a couple that you wanted to apply to but you didn't know about. So those 3 are kind of special. Something else that's kind of special is University of Oklahoma's BSMD program. So University of Oklahoma has a medical humanities scholars program. So their BSMD program is based on medical humanities, which is kind of cool if you're looking for medical humanities or interdisciplinary education. So check that out as well. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So there's 3 other BSMD programs that are kind of interesting that I think I should cover. One of them is Howard University. So Howard University is a HBCU. It's a historically black college university. So obviously, like if you fit the type of student that they're looking for, then definitely apply. With that said, there's no requirement. Anyone can apply. I actually applied too. I actually submitted my application yesterday. So that's the thing. Their application deadline is a lot later than other BSMD programs. It's during May. So it was May 15th this year. That's after everyone is committed to their college. It's after everyone's received all their decisions. So, I mean, you can definitely apply. I'm assuming the applicant pool is a little less competitive than if you were to apply regularly, because a lot of people have already committed to either like Ivy Leagues or like other BSMD programs. Also, even though I've committed to USC, you can still apply to other schools. It just means that if you choose to go to that school, you lose your deposit. So commitment is an actual commitment. Then other BSND program that's kind of interesting is Tulane University. So Tulane University has two BSND programs. They have a 7-year and an 8-year program. So look into that. Other than the BSND program, Tulane University is also a really great program. So or a really good school for pre-med. So when I go to the research university section, I'll talk about Tulane a little bit more there. And then Albany Medical College, so AMC, they have a BSND program that's connected to 3 undergraduate institutions. The cool thing, or maybe not cool thing, I guess, is that you can only choose one undergraduate institution to apply to. Their program is kind of cool because it gives you multiple degrees. Like the one I applied to is a Union College one, so they have Union College, Siena College, and RPI, or Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I applied to the one with Union College because you have the opportunity to earn an MBA or an MS degree while you're getting your bachelor's, and then you go to medical school, so that's kind of nice. And the MBA and MS are in healthcare management. So that's kind of a rundown of the special BSND programs. There are definitely other ones that are pretty standard BSND, like Rice, Baylor, Brown, Pulimi, stuff like that. So look into BSND programs. That's about it. If y'all want me to make a more comprehensive BSND program list video later, just let me know down in the comments and I'll look into it. Okay, so now we're gonna move into UC school, so University of California school. So this is kind of a popular option with a lot of people that I guess live in California or even across the nation. UCs are, I'm pretty sure, the most applied to public schools in the nation. So within the UCs, I applied to 7 UCs. The only 2 I didn't apply to are UC Santa Cruz and UC Merced. These 2, they're great schools. They're just not the best for pre-med in my opinion, and I didn't really want to go to them. So these are the 7 that I would highly recommend everyone apply to. I guess so. In the U.S. News ranking list, this is how the U.S. News ranks the UC schools. This is how I would rank them if I was doing it for pre-med. So number 1 would be UC San Diego. Number 2 would be UC Irvine. Number 3 would be UC Davis. Number 4 would be UC Santa Barbara. Number 5 UC Riverside. Number 6 UCLA, and number 7 UC Berkeley. So this is kind of surprising. Most people would say UCLA and UC Berkeley are really prestigious, and they are. They're just UCs in general. I talked about my reservations about UCs in my college decision reveal video, link in the description. But the thing about UCs is that they're highly GPA deflated, which means that it's hard to get a good GPA there, just because like stuff is graded on a curve and everything. Obviously, that shouldn't be a deterrent for not applying to these schools. But just know that like if you're going for pre-med, your GPA matters a lot. So for that reason, that's why I put it in this order. This order is mostly based on the pre-med opportunities and the GPA deflation that's there. UC Berkeley is by far notorious for GPA deflation. Everyone talks about it. Pretty sure they have a 20% rule in which out of an entire class, only 20% can get an A. So even if a bunch of other people get 90s out of 100s, only top 20%. Obviously, this is all my own research and my own opinions, so if any of y'all have contrasting opinions, definitely drop them down in the comments. I'll read through them. But this is just based off my research. That's my list of the best UCs for pre-med. UC San Diego, great pre-med opportunities. The only one that kind of rivals it is UC Irvine. UC Davis, really great safety school, and really great UC for pre-med. They have student-run clinics and everything. I think they have like 7 student-run clinics. That's really cool. But the opportunities are kind of hard to get, but still, really great school. UC Santa Barbara is kind of a wild card. So the reason why it's number 4, it's a party school. They don't have a medical school either, which doesn't mean that they're not good for pre-med. It's definitely a good pre-med school. It's just that I'm not super into the party environment kind of thing, so that's why I didn't want to go to UC Santa Barbara, and that's why I would put UC Davis above it. Also, UC Davis has a medical school, so that's kind of nice. But UC Santa Barbara is kind of a wild card in there, so if you don't mind the party culture, or if you kind of want the party culture, I guess, then go to UC Santa Barbara. I just don't like that, so that's why I didn't go there. UC Riverside, great safety school. It's definitely risen in the ranks, and I think some people might kind of question why I would put UC Riverside above UCLA and UC Berkeley, but there's actually this other YouTuber who's a medical student right now, and she actually chose UC Riverside over UCLA and UC Berkeley. Her name's Leandra. I'll link her YouTube channel down in the description below. Her YouTube channel is really informative and everything, so she talked a lot about why she chose UC Riverside over UCLA and UC Berkeley for pre-med. Now she's going to Kaiser School of Medicine, and she got some really great medical school offers as well, so definitely check her out if you want to know why UC Riverside would be a better bet for pre-med than UCLA or UC Berkeley. Okay, so now we're going to move into the liberal arts colleges. So I applied to 5 liberal arts colleges: Williams, Amherst, Pomona, Carleton, and Reed. This is how the U.S. News ranks them, and for me, for pre-med, how I would rank them is, I guess, honestly, there's no ranking. You could go to any of the top 3. So Williams, Amherst, or Pomona. These are really hard liberal arts colleges to get into. They're very, very competitive. So any of these would be amazing for pre-med. Carleton's also a really great target school for pre-med. Reed College isn't that great for pre-med. I talked a little bit about Reed in my college decision reveal video, so go check that out. But in general, they don't really give you grades, or you can't check your grades on a constant basis. I think you have to kind of request whenever you want to check your grades because they want to focus more on learning. So that's that. It's a liberal arts college, so obviously humanities, that kind of stuff. That's why you would go to Reed. Just not the best for pre-med in my opinion. Williams is super prestigious. It's usually Williams and Amherst kind of alternate between number 1 and number 2 for pre-med. But in my opinion, I think Amherst is the best for pre-med out of all the liberal arts colleges here because they have an open curriculum, which means there's no general education requirements. You can take whatever classes you want as long as you're fulfilling your major requirements and stuff like that. So open curriculum was something that I was really looking into. That's also why like Brown was at the top of my list. But Amherst College, really great. Second, for pre-med, in my opinion, would be Pomona College. Pomona College, I've heard stories of people who have given up Harvard for Pomona, so I'm guessing that well, I'm not guessing, but like I know that it's a really great school and it's just really prestigious. So definitely apply there if you think you can get in or as a reach school. And then lastly, Williams is great. It's really prestigious, number 1 liberal arts college this year, so really great for pre-med as well. Okay, so actually I should probably talk about Carleton too. But Carleton, really great target school. It's actually our cheapest option too. So if you're looking for really cheap schools or like really not inexpensive, but less expensive than your other options, Carleton offers some really great financial aid and scholarships. So I think Carleton would be a great bet. It's amazing for pre-med as well. My parents wanted me to stay closer to home, and I didn't mind going to USC over Carleton anyway. So USC is why I chose USC over Carleton, but Carleton's a great school as well. Okay, so now the moment y'all waiting for. These are the colleges that I'm pretty sure y'all kind of know by name or know more, are the research universities. So within research universities, I'm going to start at the bottom. So at the bottom, I'm just going to go on the list of US News rankings. So lowest one on this list is Arizona State University at rank 103. So University of Arizona, I think when I talk about Arizona State University, when I talk about Arizona State University, I also talk about University of Pittsburgh. So these two are both safety schools, in my opinion, or usually for most people. Arizona State is at 103, University of Pittsburgh is at 56, so there's definitely a ranking difference. As far as I've seen with people that applied pre-med, these are kind of safety schools for the coast. So if you live on the East Coast or you want to go to the East Coast and you want to go to safety school there for pre-med, University of Pittsburgh is your bet. If you want to stay on the West Coast, have a safety school for pre-med here, Arizona State. And Arizona State has a really great honors college too, the Barrett Honors College. It's really great. They have connections to the Mayo Clinic in Arizona, so definitely great safety schools. For me, the reason why I kind of discounted them at first, obviously University of Pittsburgh got waitlisted. That's because I didn't find out about University of Pittsburgh until later in the application process, and they have rolling admissions. The earlier you apply, the higher chances you have. That's why I got waitlisted at University of Pittsburgh. Arizona State University, I got into the honors college. It was just not a feasible option for me finances wise. It just wasn't worth it to pay. I think it was like $30,000, so it just wasn't worth it versus going to a different college. Okay, now moving up, we have Northeastern. So Northeastern is ranked 49. If you're applying Northeastern is a school that's really gone up the ranks really quickly over the past few years. In my opinion, it's a really bang average pre-med school, but it's still a really great pre-med school and a really great safety school to have. Just make sure to apply early or apply early action and make sure to demonstrate interest, and you should be fine. I really hope they add an essay next year because they have no essays, which kind of makes it hard, I guess. I guess they're just looking at your personal statement when they're doing this, but I guess in my opinion, for the school that Northeastern is, it's not a bad school at all. It's a really great school. I think they should have an essay, kind of would make it easier or to gauge your chances there, but that's just me. Next one is Lehigh University, also ranked 49. I only applied here because I got a fee waiver, so honestly, I wouldn't really consider it too highly for pre-med. They did just open a college of health, where you can get a degree in population health or global health, I think. So, they're making strides towards it. I just don't know how great it is for pre-med. I didn't really do a lot of research into it. Next, okay, so now we're going to get into the next few schools. And these few schools, I kind of used a little, not ranking system, but kind of like grading system. So when I'm getting to these schools, I graded them on two things. I graded them on GPA deflation and pre-med opportunities. So they're both on a scale of 3, so it's 1 to 3. Number 1 being not that's bad. Like all of these schools are really great for pre-med. One just means it's a little bit lower on the pre-med, or on the, if it's for GPA deflation, number one, having a 1 means super GPA deflated. Having a 3 means it's not GPA deflated at all. Having a 2 means sometimes somewhere in the middle. Having a 1 for opportunities would mean that the opportunities there, they're just not like amazing, robust opportunities. A 3 for opportunities means amazing opportunities, really high class. And then 2 is, once again, bang average. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom. First one is at rank 42, Case Western Reserve University. So this is like kind of the eponymous pre-med school. I gave it a 1 for GPA deflation and a 3 for opportunities. It's pretty GPA deflated as far as I've heard, but the opportunities are amazing because Cleveland Clinic is like the #2 hospital in the world. Just amazing. So that's it. Case Western, really good target, safety target kind of school. Definitely apply there. Apply early and demonstrate interest. They also have a BSMD program, so if you want to apply, go ahead and apply to that as well. The thing about the BSMD program, though, I will say, quick thing, is that you can only apply early decision or regular decision. You can't apply early action. So if you're considering Case Western for just like normal 4-year pre-med undergraduate degree, applying regular decision is going to hurt you. You might have a lower chance of getting in. But if you apply early action, you can apply to the BSMD program. And I wanted to kind of keep Case Western on my list. That's why I didn't apply to the BSMD program. Next one. At rank 34, we have University of Rochester. So University of Rochester, on their GPA deflation scale, I gave them a GPA deflation grade of 2. But you can low-key kind of add a point, make it a 3, if you consider the fact that they have an open curriculum. So, well, as open as it can be. They have clusters. They have, I think, 3 clusters that you kind of have to fulfill. But other than that, it's pretty much an open curriculum. So open curriculum is really great for pre-med because you can take your pre-med prerequisites, but you can also have space to take other classes without worrying about satisfying general education or things like that. And that's something I have to worry about at USC right now. So that's why. Opportunities wise, opportunities are 2. They're pretty good. They're good opportunities. Nothing like amazing like Case Western with the Cleveland Clinic or anything, but they're still really great opportunities. And there's also an early assurance program too, which is nice. Next up, so at rank 24 is the school that I'm going to, is USC. So USC GPA deflation, I gave it a 2. It's not that deflated, but it's not like super easy either or like amazing at grades. But you can kind of give it I kind of gave it an extra point, and you kind of bump it up to a 3 if you consider the fact that they have this program called Freshman Science Honors. So Freshman Science Honors, or FSH, that's a program I actually applied and got into. You apply after you get your acceptance. It places you in a smaller cohort for your basic science classes, so biology and chemistry your first year. That's something that all pre-meds take. It places you into a cohort of 60 people, so your class is a lot smaller. There's a lot more tight community, I guess, tight-knit. I don't know. I'm not at USC yet, but it's a smaller cohort, and as far as I've seen on Reddit and stuff, the classes are kind of curved higher up than regular science courses, so you can kind of make it on GPA deflation, you can kind of give it a boost of, I guess, a 0.5 if you consider the fact that if you get into Freshman Science Honors, it's going to be a little bit easier than if you weren't in Freshman Science Honors. Opportunities wise, definitely a 3. LAC, USC, they have their own hospital, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, definitely lots of opportunities. Just have to go out and get them. That's that. Next, at rank 16, Washington University of St. Louis, or WashU. On GPA deflation scale, I gave this a 1, and on opportunities, I gave this a 3. So GPA deflation, actually, for the large part of my college application process, like I said, WashU was my dream school until my friend who actually lives in St. Louis, she told me that it's really GPA deflated, and she was like, don't go here. So, I mean, if someone from St. Louis is telling me not to go there, then it's not that I wouldn't go there, it's just that, I guess, I can kind of take, it's kind of a little bit more credible, or at least that's just what I know. Obviously, like I said, all this is my opinion, so don't take this too, I guess, to the heart if you go to these schools. But WashU, pretty GPA deflated as far as I've heard, but the opportunities are great. They even have a med prep program, that's why I gave it a 3 on opportunities. It's literally a 4-year class that you take, and it really kind of gives you checkpoints throughout your medical school application process, which is really nice. So that's that. Next, Vanderbilt University. I gave it a GPA deflation scale of 2 and an opportunities of 1. Vanderbilt, the stuff I've read is that, like, they're a good school. They're just, like, not really great at one thing. They're just kind of, like, okay at everything, or, like, good at everything. So, GPA deflation-wise, 2, I've heard it's kind of hard. I've heard it's kind of not that bad. I've heard mixed responses, so GPA deflation of 2. Opportunities of 1. They're, like I said, they're not, like, super specifically focused on any one thing. They're kind of just very good at everything, so you can definitely get some good opportunities at Vanderbilt. Okay, so now we're entering top tier, like top 1% school areas. So number 12 is Duke. Duke is really hard to get into. Honestly, Duke is amazing. It's a really great school. GPA deflation wise, GPA deflation at 3. There's really not that much GPA deflation as far as I've heard. And opportunities at 3. Duke is an amazing school. They have great opportunities. Nothing to worry about there if you're considering Duke or want to go to Duke. Next is Johns Hopkins. So Johns Hopkins, GPA deflation 1, opportunities 3. Amazing opportunities. The research there is really amazing. Amazing clinical and hospitals too. I think they're on the list for one of the top 5 hospitals. I think they might be a number 1. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But GPA deflation wise, really GPA deflated. There's a running joke that I've heard is, actually I'm not going to say, it's kind of mean, but Johns Hopkins really highly GPA deflated. Lots of people going for pre-med, so very competitive environment. Next, Northwestern. Northwestern, I gave this GPA deflation 2, opportunities 3. GPA deflation is it's there, it's present. It's not to say like there isn't any GPA deflation, but there is a little bit of GPA deflation as far as I've heard. But opportunities are amazing. They're like, you can't go wrong with being pre-med at Northwestern. Just be mindful of the GPA deflation there. It's compared to, like, say, I guess Duke, like it is a little bit more GPA deflated. Okay, so now we're in the Ivy section. Penn, UPenn, as far as I've heard, GPA deflation 2.5. There is like a little bit of GPA deflation when I was talking to like my college advisors about this. Obviously it's no Harvard with like no GPA deflation at all, but there's a little bit. Just, it's still an Ivy League. You'll be fine if you go here. Opportunities 3, like all other Ivy Leagues pretty much. Harvard University, I'm not even gonna talk about Harvard, but 3 and 3 for this. Just amazing school. Nothing I can say. Not that I'm gonna get in, but that's that. And lastly, number 1, Princeton. GPA deflation, I give this a 1. They used to have a really strict GPA deflation policy a while ago, but they got rid of that 20% policy. Same thing as they had kind of the same policy as Berkeley. They got rid of it, but as far as I've heard, there's like residual GPA deflation left over from that policy, which is why I give it a 1. You probably give it a 1.5 if you want, but that's that. And then opportunities 2. Princeton isn't really a pre-med or I guess science heavy school. It's more of a humanities school. I was talking to one of my friends who is in the Brown BSMD program right now, and she wanted to go here to study law. So definitely more of a humanities focused school than medical school, pre-med school. But you'll definitely be fine if you go to Princeton. It's an Ivy League. It's the best. It's number 1 on US News. Like there's nothing wrong about this one. So definitely apply if you want to. One school that I didn't include in this list is a school that I actually talked about when I was talking about BSMD programs. That's Tulane University. So Tulane University is ranked number 41. So right above Case Western, but below University of Rochester. Think about Tulane. It's an amazing school. I really love the location too. New Orleans, Louisiana is great. Pre-med opportunities wise, so GPA deflation wise, I give this a 3. No GPA deflation at all. It's really great. And opportunities wise, I would give this probably a 1.5. There's not like any like super huge hospitals like Cleveland Clinic for Case Western, but there's still a good amount of pre-med resources and everything. They have an on-campus EMT thing. Lots of schools do, but they do as well. Just amazing overall, well-rounded school. It's a great safety target kind of school to make sure to demonstrate interest because they care a lot about that and apply early action. Other than that, that's pretty much all the research universities I applied to. So that is my college list breakdown. Hope that was informative. Some advice I can kind of give if y'all are looking into making your college list right now for pre-med and BSMD. Most for pre-med. For BSMD, just look at BSMD programs. You'll be fine at any BSMD program. Don't be like me when I was early in my BSMD process and be like, oh, I don't want to go to BSMD because like the medical school isn't rated that high. It's medical school. Medical school is hard enough to get into. Don't whine about it. If you get into a BSMD program, I would say go to that BSMD program. Obviously, it's a personal decision, so like take that out. Take everything I said with a grain of salt, but personal decision. But BSMD program, don't worry about how highly ranked the BSMD program is. The only one I would kind of tell you all to stray away from is there's this BSMD program in California called California North State University. It's really kind of sketchy. There's some news reports about it offering some sketchy programs and stuff, so maybe stay away from that. You can still apply, but just maybe not keep that at the top of your list. But every other BSMD program out there, honestly, BSMD is BSMD. So if you get in, go. If you want to apply, definitely apply. If you qualify, just make sure you have good stats and amazing extracurriculars. Advice for pre-med, just consider GPA deflation. Look through Reddit. You can just go ahead and type in Google, just type the name of the university and type GPA deflation, and you'll just get Reddit threads. Just read through the Reddit threads. Obviously, don't trust them too hard, but like if you see a common trend appearing, then you can kind of tell what the culture of that school is like. That's it for this video. That's pretty much all the advice. Like I said, this is part 4 of a 5-part series I'm making called I Applied to 55 Colleges. Part 1 were my college decision reactions. Part 2 is my college decision reveal. Part 3 were my stats and extracurriculars. And Part 5 is going to be kind of like a whole college application timeline when I applied to what thing. And you can just kind of see my whole college application process, and also a lot of advice on if you're for all of y'all juniors that are applying to college next year or this upcoming year, whatever, soon. So that's it for this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I'll see y'all later.